Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of It Just Works. Today, we're going to be reviewing Mortal Kombat 2021. And I have to say, I was looking forward to this movie. I didn't really know what to expect, given the long history of pretty mediocre video game movies. But I had lukewarm expectations, to say the least. And with that said, I want to get straight into the review and talk about what I liked and what I didn't like. So first off, I have to mention the whole movie for me, and it could have just been my TV or something. The aspect ratio just seemed a little bit off. Characters seemed taller and a little bit stretched vertically, more than they should have been. I'm not sure if that was just me, though. It could have been streaming issues or whatever. I watched it on HBO Max. With that said, though, I want to get right into the characters and who I liked and who I didn't really like. First off, I want to say that Sub-Zero was perfect. I think the way that they handled the character and knowing the origins of really who that version of Sub-Zero is, I really appreciated what they did. And I really liked that they included a good horror element, to say the least, of knowing when Sub-Zero is coming. You can see certain windows frost up, or for example, snow falling down, and of course that is a symbol of doom. Next on the character list, I want to get into Cole. Cole is the protagonist of the film. He's a new character introduced strictly for this film. I was, he was fine. He was like, he didn't exactly blow my expectations away. I didn't really know what to expect from him. And personally, his plot in the movie and his kind of part in the story just didn't really seem that interesting to me. I understand why they did it, and I understand that it's, seeing the world through fresh eyes so that a new viewer can kind of learn to understand the world just as he is, but it just didn't really hit it for me. And, his whole story about his family and things like that, it just didn't seem like it had enough weight to carry him as a singular character. But back on characters that I really liked, I loved Kano. Kano was he was just the best. He was probably my favorite character in the whole film, and that is saying something. Kano just kind of improved every single scene that he was in. The actor for Kano was perfect, and I really hope that we get to see more of Kano in the future if they decide to make more sequels. One thing that I do want to talk about is the fact that no tournament really took place. There was no Mortal Kombat. This seems to be almost an origin story for the characters who are eventually going to compete in the tournament. But when I went into this movie, I expected there to be a tournament. I expected there to be the Mortal Kombat tournament that the name is based off of. But it seems that they're saving that for a potential sequel. We'll see if that happens. I personally think that this movie could warrant a sequel, especially with the amount of viewers that it's drawing in. But it's not exactly something that I personally would have done if I was writing a Mortal Kombat movie. I would have gotten straight to the point of the story and gotten to what all the people want to see, which is blood and guts in a tournament. I will have to say the second act of the movie really slowed down for me. I really enjoyed the first act. I think the way that they set up all the characters was good, and I was interested to see where the story was going. I think it did kind of hit a slower point in the middle, and in the third act, it was fine. It was pretty much exactly what you expect from where the movie was heading. You see all the characters fight and stuff, and that's really that's it. That's the third act right there. Does this break the stigma of bad video game movies? Yes, I think it does. I think previously the best live action video game adaptation was probably Tomb Raider, and that Tomb Raider would of course be the one a couple years ago, whenever that came out. And I feel like you can tell that people who worked on this film really loved and enjoyed Mortal Kombat, and that is important for a video game movie. It's important to get everything, especially the feel, right. And in the case of Tomb Raider, I would say it was a little bit 50-50 on, the love and care for the character and just kind of a studio mess. But it was pretty accurate to the lore. It was not terribly inaccurate to the things that were set up by the video games and by NetherRealm. Um, I was genuinely surprised to see some of the things that have happened in the stories of the video games appear in this film. It was a cool sight to see. There was a lot of fan servicey moments that I do kind of feel was overplayed a little bit. Of course, there's the classic like "get over here," and they had the Mortal Kombat theme, which I suppose that is a given. But there was a lot of things where I think they could have either kept it for like a second movie instead of cramming all of those references into one, or just not use them at all. But that's just my personal opinion. I'm sure a lot of people really enjoyed to see those catchphrases and references being used. But to me, it just felt like that was the majority of what the movie was setting up, was those moments where someone would use a classic catchphrase or whatever. I want to get into the fighting really quick. I really like the action choreography, especially with Scorpion and Sub-Zero. I think that those two easily had the best battles in the whole movie. Some of the characters felt a little less punchy and a little more just kind of lackluster when it comes to fighting, and that could just be their fighting style for the characters. But characters like Cole, for example, he just didn't really do it for me, even in the fighting department. A lot of his fighting seemed luck based and a little bit convenient, and I didn't really feel that there were any high stakes for the characters. I didn't feel like anybody was really in danger. You can tell pretty much by the second act who's going to die and who's not going to die. It's kind of predictable in that way. Okay, I'm not going to lie, and I might get some hate for this, but I did not like Cole's family at all. And, I'm not going to spoil any details, but I couldn't get behind it. And Cole's family just felt like a liability to me that wasn't really necessary for the plot. And personally, I don't know if Cole was really necessary for the plot either, but that's a different argument. Ultimately, I did enjoy my time with this movie. I do think that I could rewatch this and enjoy my time again. And I would like to see sequels, especially with what they set up. And I do want to see that tournament. That's like the biggest thing that I want to see. And I want to see more characters, and I want to see more blood and guts. And that's what Mortal Kombat is all about. But I think that this movie did a pretty decent job of setting up sequels and giving a good time while you're at it. I would say, it's fine. It's good. If I was to give it a rating out of 10, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10, which is, to me, very much watchable and enjoyable. But it's not a masterpiece by any sense. But I'm sure, there will be people who really love this film, and that's fine. And, that's really, really great, because I'm sure that this film was made for those people. And, this film wasn't necessarily made specifically for me, and that's okay. I did enjoy my time, though, and, I really did get that Mortal Kombat type of satisfaction as a fan, being able to see all these characters and be able to see some good rated R action. Anyways, that is the end of my review. Thank you for watching, and of course, if you are interested in watching more of my videos that will be coming out soon, you can always subscribe, like this video, do whatever you want. It's my first video. It'll get better. I'll keep doing stuff. That's just, it'll improve. So anyway, thank you for watching, and of course, have a good one.